I'm Lee Brecheen, host of Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We've got great guests tonight. Head coach from Central High School, Doug Dotson, Lafayette native, Acadiana High School. We'll talk about that. Bob Howell, a veteran coach, Plaquemine High School, the head coach. We've got their recruits on tonight to promote their kids. We've got Mike Suggs, the head coach from Byrd, who's got a big playoff game against Karen Crow at Karen Crow. And we have the legendary Billy Cannon, Heisman Trophy winner, LSU. Get his thoughts on the LSU game in Atlanta and talk about some old Estruma recruiting tales maybe. We'll see you in just a moment. Be sure to call us. We'll see you really soon.
A sports injury can put you out of action. But your game's not over because you drafted the right team. At the Bone and Joint Clinic, you're treated by experts in sports medicine, experienced therapists and staff, and the latest equipment and services in a comfortable environment where you're treated like family because we want to see you suit up again. The Bone and Joint Clinic.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. And for over 35 years, ITI has been a leader in technical education here in Baton Rouge.
ITI's medical division offers hands-on training in 3 new medical programs: medical billing and coding, medical management, and medical assistant. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available.
So let ITI help you discover a better life. Call now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI for a better life.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat everyone from long drivers to unlucky drivers. Now with 7 locations to serve you. If your doctor recommends physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name. The physical therapy choice of golfers, injured drivers, and everyone in between.
If you're looking for the gear you need in the colors you bleed, then make your first stop Co-op. Much more than just a bookstore. Co-op has the largest selection of LSU merchandise for the whole family, including tailgating supplies, LSU clothing and accessories, great gifts, and a whole lot more. Stop in or order online for the best prices on art supplies, school supplies, and textbooks. The Co-op Bookstore, where you'll always find the gear you need in the colors you bleed.
As a designer here at Bassett, I've helped all kinds of people find the custom furniture they really want. Beautiful fabrics and leathers? Got 'em. A choice of finishes? Sure. The best color combos? No problem. Whatever you're looking for, I can help you find it, and we'll have it ready in 30 days. Custom furniture from Bassett. It's a great way to make your home your own.
Support Papa John's Pizza. They're our food sponsor for all our guests and do a wonderful job feeding our staff, me, the coaches, and the players. Be sure to remember Papa John's when you think of pizza and give them a call. Michelle Rabelais, marketing director, does a great job promoting all the Papa John's pizzas in Baton Rouge. Our first guest tonight is a legend, Billy Cannon, you know, the only Heisman Trophy winner from LSU, one of the few Heisman Trophy winners from Louisiana. You know, I think Peyton Manning was someone who didn't win it. He finished second to Charles Woodson, right, who was with Michigan. I know John David Crow won it at Spring Hill. And I'm going to ask Billy about that because John David came out around the same time frame. I don't think you could have had more running backs when they already had Jimmy Taylor, Billy Cannon, Johnny Robinson, you know. But what a great group of running backs to come out during that era. But I want to go ahead and go to Billy. Billy, you're on live on our TV show, man. Glad to have you tonight. Billy?
Young man, I can barely hear you. Can you speak up just a little bit louder?
Yes. Can you hear me better?
Hello.
Can you hear me better, Billy?
Not really.
Go Tigers.
We got all this high-tech technology and everything, and I can't even hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Is it better? Can you hear me a little better?
Not really.
Billy, stay there, and we're going to try and do some magic. And keep Billy there, and we're going to try and make it work and talk to Bob Howe.
Lee,
and also.
why don't you do a commercial and call me back? I'm going to hang up, and maybe we can get a better run.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Okay. We'll do that. Man, you know, TV's interesting. It happens, and we'll make it work. But, you know, before we get into Central High and Plaquemine, anything you remember, Doug? I mean, growing up in Lafayette about Billy Cannon, your dad, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, just, you know, my dad being around football all my life, certainly heard the war stories, but Bob was a little bit, during that generation, maybe he might be able to tell you some tales.
You know, Billy Cannon was a little bit before my time also, but obviously, you know, heard all the legendary stories about him, and it was come to the Baton Rouge area and found out, you know, they're all true.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Bob, you went to Southwood High School in Shreveport, right?
Right.
Worked at LaGrange and Lake Charles for a few years. Zachary High School, now Plaquemine. Was that McNeese?
Yep.
Twice
USL.
USL, college coach.
Right.
Your passion for high school football.
Yeah, you know, I came to the Baton Rouge area, you know, after being let go at USL at that time, and you know, got the Baker job, and you know, at that time Baker was a tough place. You know, funny story, you know, everything I'd ever been taught about taking jobs and things, you know, when I looked at the Baker situation, a little voice in my head was saying, "Run, Bob, run," but I was literally broke. And so I took the job, and I mean, 4 years later, you know, we had a lot of success. 4 years later, you know, had a chance to play, you know, for the state championship, and what a great place that was for me, and a great group of kids. And you know, you think it's a tough place, and it just needed just get in there and clean it up a little bit, and wash them off, and it was like, oh, look at him. That's a diamond. That's a chunk of gold. You know, some great players.
I was on the opposite end of that. I don't know if you remember that. We were in semifinals. I was at St. Thomas More, and y'all beat us to go to the Dome. I remember you had a great team that year. And
what a great game that was.
That was. I think we finished on the
6-yard line.
Something like that, going in to.
Guys, we're going to try to get back with Billy. Billy, can you hear me a lot better?
Much better.
Good. Good,
I can
man.
even hear you now.
I am glad that you can hear us now, man. I'm glad to have you on the show.
Well, it's good to be with you again. We had many discussions with Coach Carter years ago when I lived in Baton Rouge, and we played enough football before work time to fill a basket full.
Well, I remember.
So
I'm gonna tell us.
It's good being with you again.
I'm gonna tell the story. You know, I love eating breakfast in the morning, especially if it's good breakfast. You know, and I don't like cooking it. I like going somewhere to eat, you know. And I remember walking in, and there were about 7 guys yapping football at Russell's Grill on Airline Highway about 16 years ago.
Right.
And you stood up and said, "Hey, young man, why don't you come over here and let us teach you something about football? We'll let you learn a few things." And I remember everybody had a nickname. And I miss Bob, you know, Bob, former Broadmoor Buck head coach, and boy, he always challenged me now. He held me to anything that was wrong and right.
He was a good one, and he loved a good confrontation and argument too. And what a good one he was. Coached my boy there at Broadmoor, and we missed him. He was a good coach and a good guy.
Billy, LSU, you know, it's been a phenomenal season, to say the least, right? I mean, going to Atlanta, having the big win over Arkansas. I thought Tyler Wilson's one of the best quarterbacks. Everybody talks about Oklahoma State's offense, but I don't know if there's a better offense than Arkansas with Jarius Wright and Joe Adams and Childs, that whole offense that they have, and LSU shut them down pretty good at home. But what's your feelings on the Georgia-LSU game in Atlanta from what you've seen from the beginning of the season?
Well, as far as Lee, I got to go back a little bit with this team. I've got a guy that works up here with me at Angola named Dr. John Orey, and he wanted to go down and watch the spring game. I said, John, we're not going to go down and watch the spring game. We'll go down and watch the last practice. I said, because the spring game, Coach Saban sends his spies, we send our spies. It's on national television. The spring game is vanilla. I said, we'll go watch the last scrimmage. And he said, well, good, that's great. So I called Coach Miles' secretary and told him that I would like to come down and watch the last scrimmage, not the spring game. And she called me back a couple days later and said, fine, come on. And he and I went down and watched the last scrimmage, and he wanted to see Johnson, kid out of New Orleans, what did they nickname the Freak?
Yeah, Anthony.
And I wanted to see Metzenberger's velocity on his ball. And so we went down at the proper time, and we run into the present lieutenant governor at the gate, as who I've known for years and is a great friend of LSU and will be a friend when he's governor. And we went in, and Coach Miles was there, and he said, Billy, come on in. I said, Coach, I just want to walk around the sidelines. I don't want to bother anybody. He said, you won't bother anybody. You walk anywhere you want to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So we went around, and I watched Metzenberger's velocity on his ball, and he went over and watched the Eye of the Tiger and some of the other drills, and we went up, and he said, where do you want to sit? I said, I want to sit in your season tickets. And he's had season tickets for 50 years, and we went up there and we sat in his seats, which was wonderful, and we saw a scrimmage. And when we were walking out of the scrimmage, we had watched Teran Matthew return some punts. And it was not a tackling drill. It was just a punting drill.
Yeah.
And I remarked, I said, now this kid is very, very quick. And I said, if he pay attention, he's going to be a very good football player. So we were walking out, and there the kid goes walking in front of us. And I said, John, you know who that is? He said, no. I said, that's the kid we were watching. He says, my goodness, what a physical specimen. I said, if he's attentive, he's going to be a good one. And we walked on, we walked to the car, and I said, you know, this is the best I have ever seen. All the scrimmages and games and things I went through and played in and watched since then, this defense is further along than I've ever seen one in my life. He said, you're joking. I said, no, they are good. And they're going, we saw a 3-man front, a 4-man front. We saw a 5-man front. We saw all the blitzes. And we even saw this big kid Johnson, as a freshman, spy on a pass pattern. Faked the rush, drew 2 blockers, backed up into the slant passing lanes. That was so far advanced. And I walked out and said, they're going to be very, very good. And we go back, and I'm listening to Kelly from Oregon talking about the game they played with LSU. The coach at Oregon says, you know, to get ready for LSU, we had to bring our A game, and we worked harder, earlier, and faster than we've ever worked. He said, I think playing LSU the first game of the season paid off for us the whole year.
Billy.
And I think getting ready for Oregon has paid off for this ball club the whole year.
Billy, we're going to take a...
And what a great run we've had.
We got to take a commercial break. I want you to stay with us, okay? If that's okay. And we'll be right back with more with Billy Cannon, and we've got our 2 high school head coaches, and we'll be talking with Billy, talking football when we come back. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
Can buying furniture really be fun? Sure. Come into Bassett, and an in-store designer like me will be happy to help. Just tell me a little about yourself and what you're looking for, and then I'll give you a bunch of great ideas. And our design help is free. Who could say no to that? Come into Bassett and discover the easy, affordable way to make a beautiful home.
State Farm agents Brian Moe and Joan Meir in Baton Rouge are there for you. Call today.
Louisiana Office Supply is the largest stocking office product store in the South with a new 23,000 square foot showroom. For over 72 years, Louisiana Office Supply has met the demand for quality office products competitively priced with an extensive selection and knowledgeable staff. From office furniture to Post-it notes, there are supplies for every part of your office. Louisiana Office Supply, generation after generation, exceptional service since 1936.
Arrive to the game in style in a new or certified Peretti family vehicle.
Jaguar, with timeless elegance, is the sportiest, sexiest luxury automobile on the road. Land Rover is rough enough for all your hunting needs, yet refined enough to deserve valet parking. Mazda will connect you with your inner driver at a whole new level of intensity.
Remember, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you get to the game. Peretti, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mazda, Baton Rouge, New Orleans.
Have you made the right call?
I made the right call.
It's easy to do. Just touch the tones.
I made the right call.
If you want to talk to the pros, you've got to make the right call.
I made the right call.
It's not that kind of call. I'm talking about the professionals at Gage Telephone. From excellent products like Toshiba to great service after the sale, make the right call. Gage Telephone, 753-4243.
A sports injury can put you out of action. But your game's not over because you drafted the right team. At the Bone and Joint Clinic, you're treated by experts in sports medicine, experienced therapists and staff, and the latest equipment and services in a comfortable environment where you're treated like family because we want to see you suit up again. The Bone and Joint Clinic.
Check out LAFootballMagazine.com on the bottom. It's the store if you want to still get the preview or you want to go to Barnes & Noble. Those are the locations that you can pick it up, Barnes & Noble. We've got more with Billy Cannon, and I wanted to ask Billy, you lost a good friend this past year in Al Davis. What are your thoughts on Al? You used to bring up Al Davis all the time to me, Billy, over conversations. Hey, Billy?
Hello? He's up. He's up.
Hey, Billy, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you at all.
Okay.
Your commercials came through fine and beautiful, but I can't hear you, Lee.
What about now?
I can hear you better.
Okay. You lost a good friend in Al Davis this year, and you used to bring Al Davis up all the time when we used to talk about football. What are your feelings on Al Davis passing away?
Al Davis took me, and I was a broke down, beat up running back coming out of Houston. I'd hurt my back, and there were some things I had done previously I couldn't do anymore. And he took me and he brought me into Oakland, and I played fullback for him 1 year. And the next year he says, Billy, I'm going to move you to the outside. He said, you're a great flanker. You'll be a great flanker. And he said, we need you out there. You got experience, and if this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen, I'm going to move you back inside. So, all right. So I dieted. When I was in middle school, I got down and I reported 186 pounds. That's the lightest I'd been since I was a sophomore in high school.
Unbelievable.
So I go out there and I'm playing flanker. I'm having a pretty good exhibition season. I'm catching 3 or 4 balls a game. He calls me in one day and he says, Billy, I'm going to move you to tight end. I said, what? And he said, I'm going to move you to tight end. All my tight ends are hurt, which was true. And I cursed him. And he took it, which he didn't take it from a lot of people, but he took it. And he said, you're making this kid Biletnikoff, you're making him nervous. He said, you're having too good a year. I'm going to trade Art Powell, and I'm going to move you to the left side. He said, and then you and Biletnikoff can be my flankers for the year, and we'll go from there. And I said, well, that's great. But in the meantime, you move me to tight end. He says, as soon as I get somebody well, I'll move you back to the outside. He said, but I got to get the pressure off Biletnikoff. I said, Freddie's going to be a 10, 12-year, 14-year player, which he was. I said, he's a great athlete. I said, he's going to do well. He said, well, I got to move you. I want him to progress, and I want him. It went very good explanation. I cursed him, and we left. He moved me to tight end. He said, as soon as I get somebody well, I'm going to move you back to the outside. Well, 2 weeks later, he did trade Art Powell to Buffalo, and 7 years later, he called me in. He said, well, yeah, I guess you know why I'm calling you in. I said, yeah, you're going to move me back outside to the flanker. He said, don't make this any worse than it is. He said, this is hard enough on me. I said, you fixing to fire me and you tell me how hard it is on you. We laughed. We had a good time. I cursed him. We left. And 2 days later, Hank Stram picked me up at Kansas City, and I played my final year at Kansas City. And I'm glad I did, because I got to know Hank. But I had a great admiration for Al Davis, and what a very smart and brilliant coach he was. And I can't say enough about him, as you well know. You and I have talked about him previously. But he was just outstanding, and what a wonderful person.
Billy, we have two high school coaches here from Plaquemine, Bob Howell, and Central High, Doug Dotson. But Bob has a question for you, Billy.
Well, Billy, I don't know how, I've heard of all the legendary, talks about when you were at Estruma and Coach Brown, and I think
I can't hear the question, Lee, but
well, maybe you ask him, Lee.
He was asking you, Billy, about all the good times at Estruma with playing for such a legendary coach in Fuzzy Brown. What was that like?
Lee, I really can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go to a commercial, and we're gonna come back with more with Billy Cannon. We're gonna get things back to normal, and we'll be back in just a moment.
If you're looking for the gear you need in the colors you bleed, then make your first stop Co-op. Much more than just a bookstore, Co-op has the largest selection of LSU merchandise for the whole family, including tailgating supplies, LSU clothing and accessories, great gifts, and a whole lot more. Stop in or order online for the best prices on art supplies, school supplies, and textbooks. The Co-op Bookstore, where you'll always find the gear you need in the colors you bleed.
State Farm agents Brian Moe and Joan Meir in Baton Rouge are there for you. Call today.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. And for over 35 years, ITI has been a leader in technical education here in Baton Rouge. Our commitment is to help people just like you attain a better life through technical training.
Get hands-on real-life training in one of 9 career areas with flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available.
So let ITI help you discover a better life. Call now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI for a better life. Have you made the right call?
I made the right call.
It's easy to do. Just touch the tones.
I made the right call.
If you want to talk to the pros, you've got to make the right call.
I made the right call.
It's not that kind of call. I'm talking about the professionals at Gage Telephone. From excellent products like Toshiba to great service after the sale, make the right call. Gage Telephone, 753-4243.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat everyone from Grand Slam hitters to grandparents. Now with 7 locations to serve you. If your doctor recommends physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, the physical therapy choice of baseball players, grandparents, and everyone in between.
All right, this college and high school notes. First of all, we're going to talk about high school playoffs with our coaches, but I want to congratulate the Raging Cajuns going to their first bowl game in, heck, I can't even remember. Doug, you'll know that when I get to. Long time going to New Orleans Bowl, and Louisiana Tech, who I really didn't think would win their conference, the WAC. Wacky year, man. I mean, Louisiana Tech, unbelievable season, won their conference. Boise State leaving kind of helped a little bit, but we'll talk about the playoffs and all the teams, especially Breaux Bridge is still in it. We'll talk about Karen Crow, 2 local, and then we've got Parkview Baptist and St. Charles Catholic and several New Orleans teams to talk about. We're going to go ahead and go back and try one more time to get Billy back on with us. And Billy, can you hear me this time? Hey, Billy.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Lee, I can hear your commercials great, but I can't hear you at all right now.
All right. I'm gonna try and maybe I'm gonna talk even louder. Coach had a question for you about Estruma playing for a legendary coach, Fuzzy Brown. What was it like playing for Fuzzy Brown at Estruma?
Lee, I can't hear you at all. Your commercials come in great, but I can't hear you. And apologize to the coach, and maybe we can get back together another day and talk, and I'll answer the coach's questions.
Yeah.
If you call me at the office tomorrow,
yeah,
I'll answer it. And I apologize for our communications just not
thank
good.
you for coming on, Billy. We'll get you in studio.
Talk to you later, bud.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate it. Heck, I'm just glad we had him on the show. Yeah. You know, the only Heisman Trophy winner, and we could probably have 5 hours of talking just on Estruma. But, you know, little Fuzzy Brown and big Fuzzy Brown dominated the 60s and, you know, early 70s and 50s. You know, Billy was at Estruma in the 50s. Billy's originally from Mississippi, moved here. I think we were going to have a question for him, Coach, about his...
Yeah, I've just heard, you know, how, you know, the coaches at Estruma are just so far ahead of their time, you know, really training kids, you know, like we are today, and just, you know, the organized practices on time segments. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of people about that, and just kind of wanted to hear it from a player's perspective, you know, that played for Coach Brown back in those days.
Want to mention, we've got about a minute. We're going to come back with Coach Suggs, the next segment from Bird, and all the coaches are going to talk, and then we're going to talk to Dotson and Coach at Plaquemine about Bob Howe, about all their current talent at their high schools. But Doug, you first. You're from Lafayette. You're a Central High School head coach, but you went to Acadiana.
Yep.
Breaux Bridge is hosting Neville. Karen Crow is hosting a big-time opponent, too.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Karen Crow, but I got a close friend of mine that's at Bird, and I know they have a lot of talent as well. I think that's going to be maybe a track meet, you know, before that one's all said and done.
What do you think of Vermillion Catholic getting this far with Trev Falk? Did that shock
Trev
you?
Falk, no, man. He was a great player. Evidently, he's a great coach. And I saw Trev when he was, I remember being in a game, they played Acadiana, and I think he had like 20 tackles. I mean, he was unbelievable. And he seems like he might be a good coach as well.
He's a great coach. They only have about 20 players. They have a great little running back. And then Coach Howe, I'll ask him about Parkview Baptist, an offense he's familiar with, very similar to what he's run over the years. But we're going to go take a break. We're going to get Mike Suggs to be on the show from Bird High School in Shreveport. A great team that's in the playoffs. This might be Bird's year to get to the Superdome. It's been many years since Bird's played in a state championship game. We're going to have Coach Mike Suggs join us in just a minute.
Louisiana Office Supply is the largest stocking office product store in the South with a new 23,000 square foot showroom. For over 72 years, Louisiana Office Supply has met the demand for quality office products competitively priced with an extensive selection and knowledgeable staff. From office furniture to Post-it notes, there are supplies for every part of your office. Louisiana Office Supply, generation after generation, exceptional service since 1936.
Have you made the right call?
I made the right call.
It's easy to do. Just touch the tones.
I made the right call.
If you want to talk to the pros, you've got to make the right call.
I made the right call.
It's not that kind of call. I'm talking about the professionals at Gage Telephone. From excellent products like Toshiba to great service after the sale, make the right call. Gage Telephone, 753-4243.
State Farm agents Brian Moe and Joan Meir in Baton Rouge are there for you. Call today.
As a designer here at Bassett, I've helped all kinds of people find the custom furniture they really want. Beautiful fabrics and leathers? Got 'em. A choice of finishes? Sure. The best color combos? No problem. Whatever you're looking for, I can help you find it, and we'll have it ready in 30 days. Custom furniture from Bassett. It's a great way to make your home your own.
A sports injury can put you out of action. But your game's not over because you drafted the right team. At the Bone and Joint Clinic, you're treated by experts in sports medicine, experienced therapists and staff, and the latest equipment and services in a comfortable environment where you're treated like family because we want to see you suit up again. The Bone and Joint Clinic.
Check out LAFootballMagazine.com. Again, you can still get the preview, or you can go to Barnes & Noble and pick up a copy if you haven't already picked one up. We're already working on the 2012 preview issue right now. We got through filming 297 high schools, and some of those 3 times. So ready for the season not to be over, but watched a lot of film. Not, you know, it's fun, and it's getting funner. And we've got one of the great coaches and veteran coaches in the state about to join us, Mike Suggs, the head football coach from Byrd High School in Shreveport. Mike, glad to have you on the show tonight.
Well, thank you, Lee.
You know, I've come up to visit your school. I went up this past spring, and I really think that, you know, most people think that, you know, you have these 290-pound linemen from front to back on tackle to tackle, but you don't. I mean, you have a bunch of great kids, a bunch of seniors, and you and your staff do a wonderful job coaching these guys.
Well, I appreciate that, Lee. Yeah, we're not a real big football team. We have one big offensive lineman, and the others are small to average size.
Yeah, your quarterback, Richard Carthen, has done a phenomenal job. Reminds me a lot of a Terrence McGee from Franklinton High School from last year. What has he meant to your team, Coach, the last 2-3 years running that offense for you?
Well, he's meant a lot. I mean, you know, he's a great leader. He's a very intelligent young man. He's got great leadership qualities and, you know, a great athlete to boot. You know, he's so explosive carrying the football, and, you know, he's led us all the way.
Coach Suggs, I've got 2 high school head coaches here on the set, Bob Howe at Plaquemine and also Doug Dotson, who has a friend on your staff, Doug Dotson, head coach at Central High. Doug's got a question for you about a friend of
Coach,
his.
Doug Dodson here. I've heard a lot of y'all success is mainly due to Coach Jason Pope. Can you elaborate on that any?
Well, Coach, yeah, I know he's good friends with y'all and used to be down there with you. He's done a great job. Pope's he's a great coach and, you know, done a great job with our safeties this year. And, you know, he's helped us out a lot.
Well, he's had nothing but good things to say about you in the program, and I've kind of followed y'all from afar, but want to wish you luck this Friday. I know Karen Crow is pretty going to be a big game for y'all, but I wish y'all a lot of luck.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate that.
Bob, you have a question for Coach?
Well, Coach, you know, Bob Howell here. I just want to, you know, congratulate you. It's so good to see a public school up there in the Shreveport area, you know, have the success that you're having, and wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
And Bob went to Southwood High School, Coach, just so you know.
Well, me and Bob have known each other for a long, long time.
Okay.
Yeah, we go back, you know, I was at Airline and you were at Bird, and
okay.
had some great games back in, what, the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, we had some battles back then, but, you know, I remember when Bob was in high school at Southwood, I followed him and went to Southwood after he got out. And, so we've known each other a long time.
Mike, tell everybody how many years you've been at Bird, which is not normal for a coach in this state. I mean, you've been at Bird for a long time.
Yeah, I've been there for 22 years now. You know, when I went in, I thought, well, I'll be here for a year or two and then, you know, move on somewhere else. And it's just been a great place. And, you know, I've enjoyed it there. And now my daughter's a senior there at Bird, and my son will be coming in next year. It's just been a great situation for me.
Mike, what is the difference between this team and the 21 prior teams you've seen at Bird? What is so different about this group of players?
Well, with this group, you know, they've got a lot of experience. One, they came in at the right time, and they've, you know, got a lot of playing experience. You know, they played a lot as sophomores. Almost all of them started as juniors last year, and, you know, I think that's a big key. Also, you know, in my opinion, for teams to have success, you've got to have camaraderie. They've got to get along. They've got to believe in each other and believe in the coaches and believe in the scheme that you're running. And, you know, in this day and age, it's hard for a lot of high school kids to do when you do things like we do offensively, which is run the triple option, you know, when everybody else is spread out throwing the ball. And but this group is bought into what we're doing offensively and defensively. They believe in what we're doing, and they get excited about it, and I think that's a big key.
Mike, I had a chance to see your team beat West Monroe earlier this year, and you know, as you know, I mean, they're probably one of the best-looking football teams in uniform coming off the bus, right? But what was it like? I mean, you've had some battles against Don Showles in the past, but finally getting a win against that program, you know, what did that do for your kids' confidence?
Oh, it did a great deal for our confidence, you know, to be able to line up with West Monroe and come out with a win, you know, that was a catalyst for us this year. And, you know, it gave them confidence that if they could achieve that, then they could line up and play with anybody. And, you know, it just kind of jump-started us. And, you know, we felt like we had a good team going into the year. You know, we didn't know exactly how good we were going to do, but we knew we were talented. And to get that win right off the bat, it really sparked us.
Guys, any more questions for Mike? Bob?
Mike, you know I love your offense. Is this quarterback of yours, is he a 3-year starter, or how long has he been with you?
He started as a sophomore at free safety for us, and he's a second-year starter at quarterback. But he was our backup quarterback as a sophomore and played some then. Actually, our starting quarterback got hurt, and he started against West Monroe as a sophomore for his first start.
Yeah. Coach, I want to mention before we go, your big O lineman that I've watched gradually improve, you know, and I know these coaches understand that. Patrick Germany didn't play a lot for you prior to this year, and that light seemed to come on this year. It looks like he's come a long way, the big senior.
He has. I mean, he's been a project. We don't get a lot of big linemen. That's, you know, one downfall we do have. But, you know, he was a project since day one, but he worked extremely hard to get better. I mean, he couldn't even get in a stance as a freshman.
Yeah.
And you know, he worked to where he could get down in a stance and do below parallel squats, and he's just gotten better and better every day. And, you know, he's gotten a lot better this year.
That's what's great about high school football. Those kids improving every year and learning. Coach, look, good luck to you this Friday night against Karen Crow in Lafayette.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Bob Howe and Doug Dotson and talk about their high schools. And we've got their recruits coming on the following segment. We're going to take a break. We'll see you in just a moment.
Opportunity here to tell you why you need to check out ITI Technical College. You can get your technical drafting degree in less than 2 years. You get specialized technical training, work in areas like architecture, manufacturing, construction, or engineering. Get hands-on training, skills for a competitive edge, flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Listen to Opportunity. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple. We're your key to a better life.
At ITI, Opportunity doesn't just knock, it rocks.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat everyone from Grand Slam hitters to grandparents. Now with 7 locations to serve you. If your doctor recommends physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, the physical therapy choice of baseball players, grandparents, and everyone in between.
Arrive to the game in style in a new or certified Peretti family vehicle.
Jaguar, with timeless elegance, is the sportiest, sexiest luxury automobile on the road. Land Rover is rough enough for all your hunting needs, yet refined enough to deserve valet parking. Mazda will connect you with your inner driver at a whole new level of intensity.
Remember, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you get to the game. Peretti, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mazda, Baton Rouge, New Orleans.
Louisiana Office Supply is the largest stocking office product store in the South with a new 23,000 square foot showroom. For over 72 years, Louisiana Office Supply has met the demand for quality office products competitively priced with an extensive selection and knowledgeable staff. From office furniture to Post-it notes, there are supplies for every part of your office. Louisiana Office Supply, generation after generation, exceptional service since 1936.
If you're looking for the gear you need in the colors you bleed, then make your first stop Co-op. Much more than just a bookstore. Co-op has the largest selection of LSU merchandise for the whole family, including tailgating supplies, LSU clothing and accessories, great gifts, and a whole lot more. Stop in or order online for the best prices on art supplies, school supplies, and textbooks. The Co-op Bookstore, where you'll always find the gear you need in the colors you bleed.
We're back. Before we get to our coaches, I want to just talk about the LSU game in Atlanta. Give my 2 cents or 3 cents. I think LSU A will win the game. I don't care if it's by 10, 3, or 14, or 20, but I think they're going to win. They've had to beat 9 national champions to get to this game, and obviously they're going to have to win 10 national championships, one more after this. I would not like to see Alabama. I'd like to see Oklahoma State. That's my personal opinion. I'd like to see the so-called #1 offense against the #1 defense. Put that talk to rest too, right? Brandon Whedon is supposedly the best quarterback in the country behind Luck, right? We'll see. I'd love to see that happen. And then their receiver, Blackman, Justin Blackman, I just don't think he would have a huge game. LSU shut down the #1 tight end from Arkansas, Chris Gregg. Joe Adams and Jarius Wright were averaging 150 yards a game each, and they shut them down to 10, 20 yards each. Not a bad defensive scheme by John Chavis, huh?
I'll tell you what, I think I could coach those guys, though.
You're defensive coach. You're defense, too. I mean,
I'm an old defensive coach.
They got some tremendous talent. I mean,
2 cents on the LSU Atlanta game?
I mean, I like LSU. I mean, without a doubt, I think they're going to dominate it.
LSU, I'd give it to those big running backs and just keep pounding.
Talked off air, Bob, St. Charles game intrigues you in Parkview's offense.
Yeah, you know, Parkview's offensive line, I just think is so physical, and get in there behind that and play keep away. Like, they've you know, they did last week, you know, keeping the ball away from that good quarterback Port Allen had. And I think Parkview has the right recipe. I really do.
The one that intrigues me is Breaux Bridge at home against Neville. You know, Neville, they don't look like they're the top team until you get on the field with them, and they're in the trenches. They're probably the most aggressive team I've seen on film. And then you got all those great athletes at Breaux Bridge. And they're very underrated on their D-line, by the way, at Breaux Bridge. And then, Coach, you got a game that intrigues you, Karen Crow-Bird game, I guess?
Bird, you know, like I said, one of my best friends in the world is Jason Pope, and he's coaching the safeties over there. And so, you know, I got a little interest in it, but I'm very familiar with Karen Crow. Brent Indes has done a tremendous job bringing those guys back. And I've had some battles with Brent in the past. You know, he's a great coach, and he gets that offense going. And I'm going to tell you, they really have it going right now.
I'll tell you what, Karen Crow could put up 50 on any night if things go right. You know, I mean, they put up 60 a few times this year, but they had to play Acadiana and all these other teams. West St. John, Acadiana, Vermilion Catholic, Evangel at John Curtis, Cox game of the weeks, right? Jimmy Frederick letting me know, reminding me, which, hey, Evangel Curtis, I'm taking Curtis. It's not in the dome, but I think Evangel's rebuilding, not reloading this year. West St. John, what a team. Beat St. John twice in one season, guys.
Right.
You know, West St. John, Robert Valdez has done a great job with that program. They've been in the dome several times. It's been a while since West St. John's been to the dome, though.
Lord DuPont.
Lord took them a few times. Only one school left locally in Baton Rouge, but what about the Jesuits? Coach, you know, the New Orleans teams, good teams that are still around. Want to go ahead and give you gift certificates from Superior Grill. I don't know any coaches that do not like Superior Grill gift certificate. The best Mexican food in the state. Coach Dotson, Bob.
Thank you.
I mean, if you want to see high school coaches and see 1,000 of them on one day, go in July. You'll see everybody at Superior Grill. Right?
Oh, yeah. It's a hot spot for...
I've got T-shirts for you guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you coming on. We're going to have your kids coming on next. We're sharing the information, and we got a longer segment with the recruits from Central and Plaquemine next. Don't change the channel. You can hear from the recruits when we come back.
State Farm agents Brian Moe and Joan Meir in Baton Rouge are there for you. Call today.
If you're looking for the gear you need in the colors you bleed, then make your first stop Co-op. Much more than just a bookstore, Co-op has the largest selection of LSU merchandise for the whole family, including tailgating supplies, LSU clothing and accessories, great gifts, and a whole lot more. Stop in or order online for the best prices on art supplies, school supplies, and textbooks. The Co-op Bookstore, where you'll always find the gear you need in the colors you bleed.
Have you made the right call?
I made the right call.
It's easy to do. Just touch the tones.
I made the right call.
If you want to talk to the pros, you've got to make the right call.
I made the right call.
It's not that kind of call. I'm talking about the professionals at Gage Telephone. From excellent products like Toshiba to great service after the sale, make the right call. Gage Telephone, 753-4243.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. And for over 35 years, ITI has been a leader in technical education here in Baton Rouge.
ITI's medical division offers hands-on training in 3 new medical programs: medical billing and coding, medical management, and medical assistant. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available.
So let ITI help you discover a better life. Call now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI for a better life.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat everyone from three-point shooters to three-piece suits, now with 7 locations to serve you. If your doctor recommends physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, the physical therapy choice of basketball players, businessmen, and everyone in between.
Check out LAFootballMagazine.com. Again, you can go to Barnes & Noble at those locations in the state and get our magazine. If you can't find it at Barnes & Noble, just go on the website below and you can get the copy. We're already working on, again, the 012 issue. These guys that are about to join me are 012 graduates, not going to play 012 senior season. They had the 011 season, but we have, to my left, DeAndre Filson from Plaquemine, a free safety, could play strong safety. Logan, you could play free or strong safety in college. And then his big teammate over is Zach Hedrick, a DN linebacker from Central High. Logan and Zach are both Central and in Plaquemine. But DeAndre, I want to ask you first, who do you like in recruiting? I hear you're going to McNeese on a visit soon, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about taking a visit to McNeese?
Kind of excited about it because I really like the facility and all that.
You're known as a hitter?
Yes, sir.
Always like to hit, or just something that's come natural to you?
Just a playmaker.
Now, when you saw the hit last night, and I'll ask Logan this too, but I didn't think it was a bad hit last night, the Saints game. You know, it was all shoulder.
Yeah.
Receiver comes back in the game, and he's okay, no concussion. I think there should be replays on hits, just like replays on plays.
They're taking the fun away from the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and at your age, at guys' age, I mean, you learn and you're watching the pros, and
that's fun.
It's fun, but it's hard to stop full speed.
Yeah.
And always aim, right? I mean, it's hard, right, Zach? I mean, you're 6'3", 230, playing linebacker. I mean, it kind of makes you think now, right?
Yes, sir. I don't know what to try to do. Maybe trying to slow us down. I mean, we love big hits. That's why we play defense.
Yeah, it's not touch football.
Yeah, for sure.
Logan, you're DB at Central, senior, strong or free safety, next level. Who do you like? Who do you like at this moment? I know it's wide open right now for you.
It's mainly wide open right now. I don't really have nothing, but we went with Zach a few weeks ago to McNeese, and like he said, we like their facilities and everything, and I like ULM too because I want to go into the pharmacy area, and they got a good pharmacy program. Okay. And so I like ULM too, but
Logan, tell everybody your height and weight.
I'm 6 foot, 190.
And DeAndre, your height and weight right now?
5'11", 177.
And when it's not track or basketball season, about 190?
187.
Yeah. And Zach, I mentioned you're 6'3", 230. You moved to linebacker this year as a senior from DN. What was that like, the transition? You look like you did a good job from putting your hand down to being out covering in space.
Yes,
what was
sir.
That like
it's
for you?
Definitely different. I had to move mid-season because of an injury to our heart on the linebacking core, but I liked it. A lot more reading, reacting, a lot quicker pace, and more
What would
opportunity.
you like to play in college? I mean, linebacker or DN?
I don't know. After this year, linebacker.
You like it now.
Made a lot more plays, yes, sir.
Now, you have offers from South Alabama, right? McNeese State and Southeastern, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any of those three separate, or is it still even for
I
you?
like McNeese. I've been up there to a camp, and then I went for one of their games. They got the brand new field house. It was really impressive. And I went to a South Alabama camp, and they got brand new facilities.
In Mobile, right? Mobile,
Yes.
Alabama. And look, all three of you might end up Cowboys, huh?
Yes, sir.
Might remember this night. Say, guys, remember when we were all sitting on a couch for the TV show? DeAndre, who did you enjoy playing the most your whole career? Who was your rival to you? Who did you get up for the most, team-wise?
White Castle.
And why was that? Knew some of the kids, or?
Yeah, I knew a lot of them. Just played them a lot.
Did you ever tackle the little running back at White Castle? I'll say little, but 190.
Many times.
5'7".
Many times.
How hard is he to tackle, by the way?
Not that hard. You got to catch up with him.
He's committed to Southern Miss. Logan, any particular school that you enjoyed playing more than another school?
I'd say probably Denham or Zachary. Zachary mainly just got to know a lot of people over there in Zachary, and I just know a lot of people, and that's why that game. And Denham is just because it's just a heated rivalry.
Now, are you kin to the deep snapper Metcalf that left Zachary to go to Southeastern?
Yes, sir. I am. That's my cousin.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Did pretty good.
Yes, sir. He did pretty good. He's been talking to a few in the league.
And Zach, who did you enjoy playing? I mean, anybody in particular growing up?
Denham, definitely, and I enjoyed playing St. Paul's. Got to play them all 3 years. I mean, they're just physical, come at you, and we played them early in the year, my sophomore and junior year. It was a good test. And Denham, definitely. I mean,
I'm going to ask this to DeAndre too, but St. Paul's game, let's go to that one. Your junior year, y'all lose a heartbreaker at home at St. Paul's.
Yeah.
They lose Mickey Johnson, who signs at LSU. Y'all lost Richardson to SMU, who signed with SMU. Two teams come back. This is St. Paul's best team ever. You beat them at St. Paul's. I mean, that was just crazy. I mean, sold out crowd, and
it was definitely hype. We knew that we could definitely beat them. We knew when we found out. We were happy that we got to play them because we wanted to get some revenge back.
Yeah.
And we were going into practice that week with the mindset that we were going to upset. And it came out, and we did it.
And DeAndre, I mean, tough schedule too. I mean, Washington, Marion, and y'all played some tough teams. Is there any team, a victory this year that you enjoyed the most?
I can say St. Michael.
How many points in that game?
Tomorrow, the point we put up, 62-20.
Did you score any in that game?
No, just caught an interception. That's it.
That's it. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Tackles too, yeah, you know.
And guys, Zach, talk about your grades right now. ACT, GPA.
I have a 3.8 GPA and a 23 on the ACT.
And Logan?
Right now I got 3.4. I'm 21 on the ACT.
Okay, and DeAndre?
I have a 3.4 and I have a 17 on the ACT.
You're going to take it again soon, I heard.
Yeah.
Anything about the LSU game this week in Atlanta? DeAndre, are you ready to watch? You're gonna watch the game, LSU Georgia?
Oh yeah.
What do you think of that game?
Just can't wait. Trying to see what LSU gonna do.
Now, being two DBs.
Oh, I love watching them.
All right, Tyrann Mathieu, Thorold Simon, Morris Claiborne, Brandon Taylor, all future NFL players. Have you ever seen that many NFL players in one defensive backfield, guys?
Eric Reed, too. I like Eric Reed.
And Zach, those two DNs, Montgomery.
And Mingo.
I
love watching Mingo play.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and end the show soon, in about 30 seconds. But any final words for family, real quick, DeAndre?
I just want to give a shout out to my mom and all that, and you know, just my team, man.
And Logan?
Just team and my mom and my parents.
And Zach?
Mom, dad, sister, and definitely the whole Central family.
So here's shirts from us, guys. Good luck to you with your future. We're going to go ahead and go. Appreciate everybody that came on tonight. We'll see you tonight. The replay's at 10:30. Tune in next Tuesday for watch Louisiana Football TV Magazine on Cox 4.